For the first time on camera, we are hearing from the family of the woman killed by a federal agent in Minneapolis last month. With the death of Renee Good, as you know, fueling protests that we're seeing in that city and beyond. Her brothers are here in Washington. They're testifying on the Hill in just the last few hours, saying the violence we've seen from immigration enforcement has got to stop.
Our family took some consolation, thinking that perhaps Renee's death would bring about change in our country, and it has not.
Remember, Good was shot in her car during an encounter with an ICE officer. The Department of Homeland Security is investigating the shooting. I want to get to Maggie Vespa in Minnesota. And Maggie, while we have seen family statements, this was the first time so publicly we have heard from relatives of Renee Good. Obviously, at a moment, Minneapolis roiled by her death, by the death just 2 weeks later of Alex Preddy as well, shot and killed by Border Patrol officers.
Right. Yeah, Hallie, that's exactly right. And what was so striking about these speeches that we saw on Capitol Hill today were the brothers of Renee Good really kind of, it seemed like, walking a very careful line of not wanting to get too political. They weren't blasting the administration. They were just saying what we're seeing on the ground in Minneapolis is changing the lives of American citizens, ruining the lives of American citizens, including our family, who one of them said, by the way, our family runs the gamut of political ideologies, and this tragedy has just united us. And they just went on to talk about how they're all grappling with their grief, and they really kept it central to that idea. So we'll play some more here of their testimony today.
She helped us see the good, even when life felt heavy. She's in the resilience we didn't know we had until we needed it.
These encounters with federal agents are changing the community and changing many lives, including ours, forever. And I still don't know how to explain to my 4-year-old what these agents are doing.
So again, Hallie, as you point out, this is the first time family members of either Renee Good or Alex Preddy have spoken out since they were killed by federal officers here in Minneapolis. We've just seen a statement from Renee Good's partner, Becca. We've been told thus far she is still not planning on doing any interviews in the near future. So this was a big first in the wake of these seminal moments here in this embattled and exhausted city, Hallie, and it was poignant.
Yeah, and when we look at what's happening on the ground, this comes at a day after the Hennepin County Attorney's Office sent letters to the DOJ, to DHS as well, requesting the evidence in Good's killing. We've seen some of the tension between the state and the feds. How does that fit into the pieces of the puzzle here?
Yeah, it's a fascinating piece, and this through line has really existed through both shootings, that basically the federal government is handling the investigation into these shootings by federal officers. And it really started with Renee Good when the FBI said it would be running that investigation, and the state alleged froze the state of Minnesota out. The Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, which is a Minnesota agency that would normally handle police and law enforcement shootings like this. So now we have the local county attorney saying, do what the state agency would do at the end of your investigation and give us the evidence so that we can decide if criminal charges are appropriate, which the DOJ has previously said that they're not. They previously, and the Trump administration from the top down, has defended the officer who shot Renee Good. So at this point, there's no sign, frankly, that this is going to do anything, that this is going to make any bit of difference. But we do have at least a deadline to find out. February 17th is when the county attorney told them they want that evidence by. So a lot of people, of course, watching that, Hallie.
We thank you for watching. And remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.